Hello, I'm Kevin Benedict, Senior Analyst for Digital Transformation here at Cognizant. This week I'm reporting live all week long from Mobile World Congress 2014. Behind me you see the Roman ruins found in Barcelona. For over 400 years the Romans possessed a military town here in Barcelona. Thank you again for joining. This is Kevin Benedict from Barcelona, Spain. Hello, I'm Kevin Benedict, Senior Analyst for Digital Transformation at Cognizant, and I have the privilege today of spending time with Christy Wyatt, who's the President and CEO of Good Technology. Now, Christy, I've been around the industry for the last 15 years. Good has been there for a long time. The market is changing a lot, it seems, since last year when I was here at Mobile World Congress. Christy, how have you seen the market change from your perspective?
Sure. I think that a couple of things. One is mobility has become just a global conversation. And it sounds very cliche, everybody sort of says that, but you know, I think that the customer conversations are no longer with the mobile guy or the email guy. It's with the CEO, it's with the board of directors. And the conversation is less about applications and productivity, although that's important. The conversation is about data integrity and data security. So I think that one of the biggest shifts for us has really been the customer base really seeing the difference between true security solutions and management solutions. And I think that there's been so many examples, even in the last couple of months, of data breaches or sensitive conversations around who has the data, who gets to see the data. Companies are taking this seriously, and they're looking for serious, entrenched vendors who actually know how to solve this problem.
Awesome, Christy. So there's been a lot of acronyms throughout the history of this industry.
Yes.
The MDM for mobile device management, the mobile MAM for mobile application management.
Yeah.
Where do you make the call on acronyms?
You know what? So actually we were talking to a journalist earlier, and the front of the book said more acronyms, you know, so as a feature. So I think that when you're in a young market, you know, each one of these is sort of labeled as a separate area. These are features. They're not different markets, right? The market is really mobile and data protection. And so when we sit with a customer, we talk about what is the problem you're trying to solve. So is it employee productivity? Are you trying to get mobile devices out to employees? Or is it pushing applications out to your business partners or even out to your consumers? On that device, are they going to have other applications? Are they going to have personal content or just your content? You know, so I think it has to start with what is the problem you're trying to solve, and then kind of which of the acronyms you choose to solve that problem falls out of that. And I think that's one of the places where we see a lot of customers get confused. They sort of walk into an acronym, one or the other, and they say, this is the hammer and I'm going to go find all the nails, as opposed to saying, look, let's start with the data, start with the problem, work your way back from there.
So Christy, a lot of your competitors in the market have been acquired this last year. What does the market look like? How do you see the actual kind of behind the scenes in the market changing this year?
Well, as I said, I think there's a sorting out happening within the market of where there was some smaller companies. I think that's kind of shifting away. I think you're starting to see the larger, more entrenched vendors really accelerate. You know, there really isn't a large number of companies that have the complete solution. I think, you know, Good is really the largest standalone pure play enterprise mobility provider. I think you're starting to see some of these other organizations get taken up by very large enterprise companies, which I think is great. It means that, you know, this discussion about mobility has really come to the forefront of the entire enterprise market. Again, not just sort of this niche little mobile thing. So I think you're going to continue to see that happen, and I think that's a great thing for our customers because it keeps the pressure and it keeps the innovation happening. It keeps the solutions, you know, moving at a rapid pace.
So I was just warming you up for the hard question.
Okay.
So the hard question is, I've heard some industry experts debate whether or not this is a standalone category, the mobile security and mobile application management, or does this ultimately fit in with just all device, whether it's desktop, laptop, anything, it all becomes one big market. What's your take on that?
You know, by the way, I think that is the question that we're going to be talking this year. I don't think it's about, is it a standalone company or is it a, you know, a part of something else. I think the debate is really going to come down to how are you solving the problem. So I think that you're seeing kind of an entrenched group of individuals that have the perspective, or companies that have the perspective that the world is a desktop, and you're pushing what experience or what capabilities you had on the desktop out to other pieces of glass. So it's kind of that's in the center of the ecosystem. I think there's another sort of category of companies that believe the answer is start with what we call contextual computing. Start with the thing the user is trying to do right now. What's the most effective way for them to do that? And then how do we make sure that we do this securely, that we're providing tools, we're providing management, we're providing analytics, we're providing service management for customer care and keeping up service levels. And I think that's going to be the more interesting conversation. There's lots of different ways to solve the problem. There's pros and cons on both sides, right? I think in the former, there's significant infrastructure costs. There's an impact on the user experience. I think on the inverse, devices are changing, and how do you keep up with all the mobile devices that are out there? So there's absolutely room in this market for companies to be large at scale. I think we're doing very well. And at the same time, the interesting debate is going to be how are you approaching? Is it data first, or is it PC first?
So Christy, you're here in Mobile World Congress 2014. What's new with Good this year?
We had a lot of announcements. So the first was we announced our...
So did they give you cards? Did marketing give you cards?
No.
Did anybody give you cards?
Wouldn't that have been easier? You could do one of those social things where I just hold up the signs, one after the other, right? So first, the thing that we're super excited about is we announced the intent to acquire Boxtone, which has long been a partner of ours on a number of different areas, but what Boxtone has been very uniquely good at is service management. So as mobile becomes more and more a primary screen within the enterprise, it's also a very complex screen, right? There's multiple layers of network provider and operator, and there's multiple levels. So when somebody says to you, my phone's not working, the question is it the phone? Is it the app? Is it the network? Is it the operator? Is there the mail server? Is it, where's the problem happening? So I think that's a super exciting extension to our portfolio. Nobody else has it. We're very excited about it. I think the second thing we announced was something we're calling Good Pro. Good Pro is our first complete cloud solution. So if you are a small business, you are an enterprise user on your own, your organization hasn't deployed enterprise mobility broadly across to the employees, but you're still, you want the management, you want the security, you want your data protected, your privacy protected. And within your collaboration application, you want those features that matter to an enterprise user, things you get in Outlook. Then this is going to be a great solution for you. And so we're very excited. We're just showing that we're about to go into a beta, so people can sign up and apply today to kind of get into that program. And then the third one.
Yes.
See, I told you there was was a lot. The third one is a very strategic engagement with Tech Data. So we're doing a global distribution agreement with them. Very strategic partnership for both of us, and so we're very excited about where that's going to take us in front of new customers, new tiers of organizations. So that's a lot.
Awesome, and there's no shortage in need for mobile security these days.
Absolutely not.
Great. Christy, thank you so much for sharing today.
Thanks for having us.